But now let's talk about the 3 buckets of money. Now, when I was showing this presentation, this exact slide right here, this is when the light bulbs went off in my head, and I knew immediately what I was doing wrong with my money. Okay, so I don't care if you're a Harvard graduate or a Stanford graduate, right here on these 3 buckets of money, I'm going to make you an expert when it comes to money. Okay, and this is what we call the 3 buckets of money. Let's take, for instance, you out there watching, I gave you $10,000. Now, the most average place a person would put that money is gonna be their local checking account, a B of A, Wells Fargo, Citi, something like that. The reason why people go to the banks to invest their money is because they know that the banks are on every single corner. They feel that their money is safe. It's convenient. If they need to take out money, they go in, put their ATM card, withdraw some money. Okay, but for the novice investor that got a $10,000 bonus check today and did not know what to do with their money, odds are they will go back to their local bank, who they do their checking with and their savings account with. They would talk to the bank teller and say, hey, I got an extra $10,000. Where should I put this money? Now, if you've been to the banks lately, they're gonna give you an option to put your money in what they call a CD, a certificate of deposit. If you don't know what a certificate of deposit is, it's where you basically put your money and hold it there for about a year, and the bank will pay you an interest for doing so. So in this example that we see right here to the screen, if you put $10,000 in a CD at a 2% interest rate, a year later you would have earned about $200 of interest on top of your money. That's very good if that's your first investment. What the bank teller is not going to explain to you or talk about is the cost of living, which we call inflation. Now, depending on where you get your information from, inflation is currently running around 2%. So if you have your $10,000 in your bank CD at 2% and inflation is at 2%, are you making any money on your money, or is it simply washing away? Now, at the end of the year, depending on your tax bracket, Uncle Sam's going to say, hey, you qualify for a 10%, 20%, 30%, up to 39% tax bracket. Just for hypothetical purposes, let's just say that you had a 30% tax bracket. So if you made $200 on your $10,000, does Uncle Sam want 30% of the capital gain, or does he want 30% of the wash? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Sam is in it for the money, okay? So at the end of the year, you made $200, you had a 30% tax bracket, you actually lost $60 because you're not outpacing inflation. We know this here, but yet we have millions of consumers that keep dumping $50,000, $100,000 into their bank CDs, hoping that it's going to actually grow to a larger amount, and that will never happen. The next bucket, what we call the tax later bucket, these are for individuals that know that the bank's plan don't work. So they'll start putting their money into a 401k, a 403b, 457, a 529, even IRAs. These are all called tax later vehicles. Now, this is where a novice may get confused. I had a client the other day say, Hector, I want to put my money in a 403b because I believe it performs better than 401k. Okay, that's what I mean by a novice, not understanding on how money works. All these vehicles, they look the same, they all fall in the same bucket. That means that your money will get taxed later. So let's just say that you took $500 a month. Each month, you put it into one of these vehicles. For the next 30 years, your money should grow to about $1 million. Now, that can be achieved with just your money compounding at a 9.3% interest rate. And as we all know, if you have your money in the stock market, today the stock market has done some crazy stuff, but it goes up and down. And over 30 years, the interest rate is, you average about 12% with the stock market. So if you were to do this religiously and are disciplined at putting the $500 a month away, you definitely will be able to achieve your $1 million at retirement. But this is the one thing that they don't tell you about investing your money in these vehicles. These are long-term vehicles. If you want to take out any of this money before the age of 59 and a half, you could get subject to a penalty of 10%. So if you need to take out $1 million out of your mutual fund, your 401k, 10%, you're going to lose $100,000 just like that. Another downside of having your money in these vehicles is that if you leave your money there too long, then the IRS will have you do a required mandatory distribution, an RMD. And now you can lose up to 50% of your hard-earned money at retirement when you need the money the most. Now, what if you retire the way that the government wants you to retire, and you are going to retire at age 60? Okay, so you can avoid the penalties, etc. How does $1 million break down in retirement income? Well, $1 million will break down to about $41.67 a month, or $50,000 a year for the next 20 years. So if you retire at age 60, you have income for the next 20 years until the age of 80. But what happens when you turn 81? Are you back working at Walmart to supplement your retirement? Are you back at the Golden Arches to supplement your golden retirement? Now, let's just say that you retired the way that the government wants you to retire. You took out all this money. You're getting $50,000 every year. Now, remember, this is a tax-later vehicle. So, again, for hypothetical purposes, just say that the tax bracket that you're in is still the same 30%. So now when you take out this $50,000 from your retirement, that is earned income. That is income that is subject to taxation. So if you're at 30% tax, $50,000 a year, you're losing about $15,000 every year to taxes. For the next 20 years, you lose about $300,000 from your retirement account just in taxation alone. So if you take out your money too early, you lose $100,000. If you take out your money too late, you lose $500,000. If you take out the money the way that the government wants you to take it out, you're still going to lose $300,000. But what if I showed you there was a better way to grow your money, a tax-free way, so that when you need your money the most, the IRS will not get 1 cent? Now, there's only 3 different vehicles, guys, and this is what the wealthy know about. They know about these tax-free vehicles. One is a muni bond, a municipal bond that grows your money tax-free. Another one is called Roth IRA. Last but not least, life insurance. Life insurance allows you to grow your money tax-free and to pass on the money to your beneficiaries tax-free. So in this example, we're going to talk about what we call an IUL, an Index Universal Life. And we're going to compare it to a 401k. So let's just say you put your same $500 that you contribute to your 401k and you put it into an IUL that we provide here at MRC. That same $500 that goes into your policy, about 30% of it will go to the cost of insurance, roughly about $150. For the next 12 months, 30 years, you're paying about $54,000 for the cost of insurance. That cost of insurance will probably give you, depending on your age and your health, about $500,000 of a death benefit for your family, tax-free. The other 70% of your $500 will get indirectly invested into the S&P 500. And what happens is that the insurance company uses the S&P 500 as a measuring tool only. Your money is not invested into any stocks. It's invested in the insurance bond portfolio. So after 30 years, your money does grow to another $1 million. Why does it have the flexibility of growing to another $1 million? Because with an IUL, you have a floor rate of about 2%. You have a cap of about 14%. Remember, the magic number that we need to accumulate $1 million in long-term growth is about a 12% interest rate compounding every single year. This money grows tax-free, ladies and gentlemen, and if you had the $500,000 death benefit and $1 million within the policy, that gets transferred over to your beneficiaries tax-free. Now, like any other vehicle, there's going to be pros and there's going to be cons. Let's talk about some of these pros with this IUL product. Number one, your money grows penalty-free. So if you're putting money into the cash value of the policy and it's building up, and you need to take out money for a car, for auto repair, that money will be loaned back to you at 2% from the insurance carrier. You're getting a minimum of 2%, so that's what they call a wash loan. You're not paying any interest on your own money. You're getting your money penalty-free. Your money is also growing tax-free because this is after-tax dollars. It's not like a 401k when you go to your accountant or your CPA and get a deduction. IULs are not tax-deductible. Also, what's included is living benefits. Again, insurance you don't have to die to use. And we'll talk about that on the next slide. The only con that we have with this investment vehicle, the Index Universal Life, is that you have to qualify. You have to be in good shape. Okay, you can't be sick. You can't have any pre-existing conditions. You got to be in good health for this product, guys. So now we explained every single bucket: the tax now, the tax later, the tax number, tax never. Okay, so if you had $10,000 today, where would you want to see your money grow? Hopefully you said the third bucket.